Oh, I don't see them. I don't see anything you post,
on
but
StreamYard.
I just put us online.
Okay, because I've been
Oh
posting
my
some.
God, folks. I just realized we're online now, aren't we?
Yeah, I've been
Hello.
posting the comments letting you know that no one can see.
Yeah, I'm talking to the people now. I'm sorry, folks. I thought we were on. We went through everything. That's all it takes is miss one button. Oh my God. And I don't even think it recorded. Son of a gun. What, should we pick it up from the start and start all over? I mean, seriously, what do you think, Taylor? If the people just got here, we just started. What do you think we should do?
I don't know. I'm going to talk about this one real quick since
Well, that's what I'm saying. Nobody even knows what we were talking about. You're jumping into a chart that I just turned you on. Do you think we should start the show from here and start over? Do you have the time?
Sure, but I'm going to have to leave right after the couple hours from now.
Well, I'm not going to take that long, but
Okay. Yeah, then we can start at least this one over.
I am so sorry, folks. We had a great show going there.
And you asked to post the comments. I've been posting them like they
Yeah,
need
well,
help. They can't
I
hear.
actually
They can't
posted
hear.
for the viewers to be able to see them. When I'm looking at my pages, I can't see anything on here. I have no idea what's going on over here. So our sincerest apologies, folks. That was my blunder. Taylor has nothing to do with getting us up and running. That's all on me. So if you're ready, we're just going to jump into this, folks. If you've got the time, Taylor and I will start all over again. So thank God I didn't delete anything. I've still got everything here. Let me bring it on up. Let's back up. So welcome to On Top and Hot's live stream. Late, bundled. Thank God we haven't got a window of time that we have to use and get off the channel. Dude, we've got lots of stocks, folks. We've got 8 stocks to take a look at. If you're dropping in your tickers during the show, I'm not going to be able to get to them, folks. I put up a placeholder for this a lot earlier in the day, so people show up and they start dropping their tickers. And, well, I do go by first come, first served. So all those tickers are in the queue. And I do have one that came from Twitter earlier today, and that got thrown in there too. And Brian, oh my God, I've already apologized to you once. I got to do this again. I missed your comment, AURI. I know you wanted us to look at that. I don't know if it was because it was one word or what, but I didn't skip you on purpose. It was an accident, so my sincere apologies. But folks, he brought us AURI. He wanted to share it. I want to share that with you. The show isn't just about me covering stocks. It's about you bringing stocks that we can share with other investors. So even if I don't cover it, we can get that out there, at least up on the screen so other people can realize. So if you know something hot about the stock, give them a little tease there. Give them a reason to go do some due diligence. All right, let's jump into this, folks. Oh my God, this is like deja vu in a weird way. So we are taking a look at BLIS Corporation, ticker BLIS. Now, BLIS has got a lot going on right now, and we're going to dive into every single bit of it. She finished today at 4 cents. She's up 25%. She's on the pink tier, the absolute worst tier of the OTC, the riskiest. And the reason they're risky is because they have a lack of information down here, validated information. You don't get validated information with their financials, which they call disclosures. They are not looked at by CPAs. They can opt for SEC reporting. They can get 10K, 10Q reporting if they choose to become more transparent. Normally, the only verified information we get is a transfer agent verified and a verified profile. This comes from the OTC markets, an unbiased third party. We don't have the verified profile. No, that's not a deal breaker. It doesn't mean you shouldn't invest in it. It just means we haven't got as much reassurance as we could have. So what can I tell you about this company? Well, let's see. The company is going through a merger. This company used to be, well, this is an old name. BLIS Corporation was a name back when Treasure Shipwreck Recovery did a merger. And they intended to change the ticker in the name. They just never did. Well, now they're in another merger. It was on February 28th that the first time we heard about this merger came on. And normally, when you look at the chart, the first time you hear about this sort of thing, you get a big jump. Then we got a second piece here. This is when they said they were announcing a letter of intent. This is where they say they actually sign the letter of intent. Now, this is a very unique deal. They were into treasure hunting before. They just bought a vessel last year. They made a find off the coast of Fort Pierce, Florida, got about $1 million out of that, but they're really not doing all that well. So they've made a deal with this company. This is Native American Pride Constructors. We call them NAPC for short. They tell us that the company announced a definitive agreement for a merger and acquisition with defense and construction contracting firm NAPC. The board of directors has announced that they successfully concluded their due diligence and has now signed the definitive agreement for a merger and acquisition with NAPC. NAPC is focused primarily on government contracts, lots of money there. NAPC is projected to deliver over $5 million in backlog revenue for calendar year 2024, which does not include sales of another division, Cornershot USA Weapon Systems, or brokering munitions and defense items for the use by allied NATO forces in the Ukraine and the Middle East. So they're obviously doing a lot of things here. There's a lot going on. They say this deal is totaling about $500,000, which doesn't sound like a whole lot to me. The conversion price was agreed upon at 3 cents per share pre-reverse split and adjusted for the reverse division to 18 cents. Well, simple math, 18 divided by 3 is 6. We're going to get to that. Well, I'd get to it here. BLIS will file for a name change and a symbol change and a request to conduct a reverse stock split of 1-6. So if they are successful with this merger, which it looks like it probably will be, expect that split. Now, this is interesting. Part of this deal is a big purchase order that they got. The letter of intent discusses the initial intent to purchase 37,000 units of what? I don't know. I looked everywhere. I have no idea what they're selling, but they're selling 37,000 units, and the letter of intent provides intent to purchase an additional 63,000 units after the first 37,000 of whatever have been delivered. We don't know the value of them. We don't know what it is. There's a lot of information in here, folks, that you may want to just jump into. Now, they tell us here that the company has officially turned over control to NAPC, and the existing officers and directors of the original company have now resigned. Change of control, change of operations. It is our goal to achieve revenue, because they're not making any, and earnings over the coming years that will qualify us to trade on the NASDAQ. They didn't say they're uplisting to the NASDAQ anytime soon. That's years down the road. Everybody's got that plan. They are leaving the treasure hunting business for this opportunity forever. So don't think they're involved in that anymore. All right. What was the relative volume around the company today? Oh, wrong button. Oh my God. That's a huge jump, folks. That's about 7 times her normal volume, going from about 500,000 shares a day over the last 30 days to 3.5 million shares. Share structure for BLIS, not bad. We got 168 million outstanding. Insiders own the lion's share, about 107 million. We get the rest, a lot less, 61 million. Now, it's not what you would call a low float, 10 million, 8 million. But let me tell you, anything under 100 million is a good float. I mean, you've seen stocks that have got billions and billions of shares. So let's not complain about 60 million. Market cap for the company, we're currently at about 5.3 million. Financials for BLIS. All right, at the end of 2023, she had $85,000 and then went to zip. Nothing there on the books. Her balance sheet, 8 gads. No wonder they needed another business. Nothing in the bank, really no assets. They got $149,000, but they got a lot more than that in liabilities. So we've got about $860,000 in deficit as it stood then. Things are changing right now. I do believe that covers everything. All right, just so you can see, I'm glad we got new management coming in. This company has a habit of always being late on their financials. These NT10Qs, that is saying not filing our quarterly report on time. That buys them 5 days. And then they get it up. But they do this over and over again. It doesn't look very responsible to me. All right, that's about all I can say for BLIS. Taylor, what do you got to say about BLIS?
Okay, like I said before, this is a 4-hour chart. As you can see, since February, we started out at like 0005. Sorry,
Is that February 28th?
February like 6th, 7th, 28th was this day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we did, but we had more green volume like the 8th. That's when the first jump happened.
Big
Then
one.
we've had like higher highs, we've had just stair step all the way up. Like 1 hour chart. One hour chart looks really good.
Wow. That's
what
1 hour chart. It's a nice bowl. That's what you want to see. Everything swinging up and a nice, easy climb.
All the EMAs are lined up. This one looks really good.
Look at that volume bar today. What a spike.
Yeah, today was a big volume bar. About even the end of March, we had a lot of good volume, and not quite as much as today, but still significantly more than what it usually is. Because there for a while we were way down here at the double zeros. Now we're like around 4 cents, give or take.
800% run.
Yeah, so the next couple of resistances I see coming up is like just over 4 cents, and then the next one is about 5 cents, and that's based on this over here and here.
Yeah, she's got a nice uptrend going right now, and she's got a lot of catalysts. She is running in preparation right now. But as I said, the Virgin news, we get a big bounce. The second time you hear about the merger, signing the letter, you get a nice bounce. When they finally close it, what happens? The stock normally falls. And it's like, why would it do that? Well, I think we built everything into it before they closed it. And then everybody takes their profits and moves to the next build up stock. So we've got a lot of catalysts coming yet. We've still got a lot of things to happen. Shareholders have to vote on it. We need to see the financials for this company. They need to share them with us if the merger is going to be approved. So we got a lot of information still to come. This thing could keep going.
Yep. Looks really good. Even on the 15-minute, we've just been stair stepping up since the end of April. So yeah, like last couple weeks, 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, yep. I wouldn't worry about it until she came under the 50. She comes under the 50, that's a big drop to the 200.
Nope, we've only touched that a couple times, and there and here it was just like a little pullback, and now still running. Looks really good.
I like it, folks. In my opinion, it's definitely worthy of your watch list. As a matter of fact, on the next dip, you may want to consider a position. I like it. All right, next one I am all prepared for. Oh, yes, GWAV. She's had news out the last few days. As a matter of fact, she caught my attention last night. I'll share that with you here in a minute. GWAV, Green Wave Technology Solutions. She finished today at just about 7 cents. And she too had a good day. She was up over 20% today. This is a penny stock on the major exchange. You got to love them, folks. These are better stocks to play than the OTC. As far as I'm concerned, first off, there's no transaction fees with major exchange stocks, even if it's a penny stock. There is more volume and more money up on the major exchange. You get to trade pre-market, after-market. And remember, you don't have to be there to actually trade. You can put your orders in ahead of time. If you think there could be a pop pre-market, put in a high sell. Maybe it actually hits one morning and you wake up and go, look what I got. You never know. And not to be overlooked, it's safer. There's a lot of rules up there, folks. And speaking of rules, this company is breaking one right now. They're at 7 cents, which is way under the criteria. You cannot go under $1 on the major exchange and stay under $1 for too long. If you do, you'll get a warning. They'll tell you got 6 months to get that price up over $1, close over $1 for 10 consecutive days, or you're out of here. You're down to the OTC market. Well, I haven't actually, well, I have. That's right. We just did this. I remember what I looked at. The company has been contacted about that. And we're going to share that information in a minute. But the first thing I want to show you is last night, the chart caught my attention at about 10:30, somewhere around there. I like to watch TV and browse charts. I have my computer in front of me, TV right there, and I do. I literally browse charts for fun. And just at a glance, you don't have to read anything. You're just looking at shapes and sizes and stuff. And this chart caught my attention. I told everybody over there at Twitter, excuse the metaphor, this is a train wreck waiting to happen. And that's a good thing. And it was. I looked at this and I seen that 200-day SMA, and she was stretching to it multiple times. But what really caught my attention was right here, folks, what I call the crouch. She was riding on this strong support. Then she crouched like a cat does, just a couple inches down to jump a few feet up. And I said, this looks like the pounce is about ready to happen. Well, what happened this morning? I came over here and took a look, and this was our chart this morning. Boom! She took off first thing pre-market, and I don't know what she looked like after the bell, but you can see the jump she took right here. So we had caught this one at a perfect time, just noticing the chart. But I gave a lot of information over here. I post a lot of news on Twitter, folks. I post as much information as I can find between 7:20 and 9:30 in the morning, whether it's coming from scans or actual news. And I don't just post the news. I try to give more information so my posts are valuable to you. And I posted this May 6th. The company just received $15 million from an investor. That is in the most recent filing. Recently launched its second shredder, currently being connected to the power grid by Dominion Energy ahead of schedule. That comes from one of their most recent news. Expected to generate approximately 25 to 30% more revenue with significant margins. All right. Now, did I have anything else? We looked at that. Right. All right. So let's go take a look at the general information for the company. Wow. Look at that, folks. Her relative volume took a big jump today, going from just over 10 million, which is definitely not under the radar, to 165 million. That's 16 times her normal volume in the big numbers. Share structure for the company. Oh, isn't that nice of them? Look, folks, we got 44 million shares outstanding. They have got 1.2 billion shares. 1.2 billion. They could flood the market with all those shares, but they haven't. Insiders, this is old information here. We don't know what the insiders own. We don't know what the float is. All we do know is it's not going to be over 44 million. It can't be above the outstanding share count. And it can't be any less than 1 million, which is the least it can be on the major exchange. So somewhere in between there. Market cap for the company, we're at about 2.5 million right now, which is a bit strange because let's see here. Did I have a piece of news here? I thought I did. I think I lost it. Let me jump over here to the news. I think there was a piece of news I had. Bump. Let's see if it's over here. No, that was the 15 million. It seems to me that we had seen, now maybe I'm getting my stocks confused here. What was it? AKBA? Let's see here. 8K is the 15 mil for a minute. All right. I would have swore, this is why I'm stalling, folks. I would have swore I had a NASDAQ problem here with this company. And I may have closed that window, not realizing that we weren't online. Let me see here. Transfer of listing. Dun. Yes. There it is. Oh, thank God I found it. Yes, they had two problems. The NASDAQ reached out to them. The market cap. The market cap was too low. Now, we just saw the market cap. It was 2.5 million. Well, they say here that they have met that contingency and that they are good with the NASDAQ. And as long as they have that same market cap or above on their next periodical, their next filing, they're okay. If not, they could be thrown down to the OTC. So my question is, how is 2.5 million okay? Operations at least 500. I guess it's low. Market cap value right there. See, of at least 35 million. I knew the market cap had to be higher, and we're at 2.5 million. So how they've been allowed to get through this, right there, the company has regained compliance. However, if the company fails to keep evidence with the compliance for its next periodic report, it will be subject to delisting. I don't get that. The other one is for the minimum bid price requirement. They've been under $1 for too long. They have been given a deadline of September 30th. So they're out of hot water. They're just still in warm water. They've got until September to take care of this. And I guess as long as whatever they've done, maybe it hasn't been updated here. Maybe we just have old information. As long as they keep the market cap right, we're out of hot water right now. So the stock is looking pretty good. You know, the chart is in a great position as far as I can see. We've got money coming in from investors. They've just opened up a second shredder. They say their profit margins are going to increase. It all sounds great to me, folks. Let's take a look at that chart then for ticker GWAV.
Okay, you said it looked good. I kind of disagree. This was the daily chart. We had a big dump off between the 22nd and the 23rd of April. These are regular candles, so we jumped down from this support area of around 11.5 cents all the way down to 7 cents. It looks like, let me look over here real quick. Its 52-week low was about 5 cents. 52-week high was $1.12. According to this. So like you were saying, you looked at this, I bet you were looking this gap up. So
Yeah.
we gapped up and opened at like almost 8 cents, but then we fell all day down to 7. So if we're gonna have to look at like a 1 hour chart, might have to look.
Yeah, I think I was looking initially at the 1 hour chart for the breakout, but of course it was
the 1 hour.
Yeah, so you know she's taken a jump and it's over 50% jump that she's kept. So she looks pretty decent to me.
This is on the Nasdaq's, but you gotta keep in mind though that these big wicks and these big green candles are pre-market. These are pre-market hours. This was like 6 a.m. Central Time, and then we kind of just fell off all day. And this right here is after hours time. Okay, so this brown area is going to be your pre-market. Black is during the day, and then the blue is after hours. So yeah, we did. Something must have happened, some kind of news overnight, because 6 a.m. Central, we had that big jump from like 6 cents all the way up to 8 cents.
I don't think so. I think it was just the chart setup. That's what I posted on Twitter. I had no news. I just looked at that chart, and to me,
something a lot of other people probably saw it too. Is what I'm saying. Pre-market is when it moved the most.
Yeah, which is what I say. People have got to be watching these NASDAQ stocks. They get a lot of attention pre-market, and then it cools off as soon as the bell. So
like, look over here on the 30th of April. This was like 3-4 o'clock in the morning at Central Time, went all the way up to 9 cents. And then look what happened during the daytime. Yeah. So these pre-market hours are really important for some of these tickers.
Yeah, so you could look at an average, CO, she jumps 80%. So you get yourself a price in there 60% up from where you're at, and just let it sit there, good till canceled plus extended hours. So if she jumps after market, you got it covered, baby. And obviously this thing likes to jump after hours or pre-hours, whatever you want to call it.
Pre-market. Yeah, so this was the 15 minutes. So this is what happened today. We ended the day yesterday at around 5 cents, and then after hours we moved up and then jumped heavily right around 6 o'clock at Central Time. And now we're still ahead of what we were the end of closing yesterday. So that is good. That is good news here.
Yeah. And I'm expecting that she's been going sideways, waiting for some more support. She's looking for a diving board. So when that 50-day SMA gets up underneath her, she could just tap it and go again.
Yeah, so we are pretty close still to the 52-week low, which was a little over 5 cents. But so that could be meaning a buying opportunity.
Yeah.
We had a lot more volume come in. This was just like the pre-market hours. Haven't seen that kind of volume since maybe this time in April. That's when it jumped all the way up to 9 cents. But yeah, there's
a good bounce.
significant more volume today.
Yeah, another one worthy of your watch list. She's catching a lot of attention and she's got
Mm-hmm.
big bounces. You know, if you can't, I don't know if I like her to watch all day, but boy, those pre-market bounces are something. So when she come back down, I would look and see where would the next morning bounce to, and just, you know, put in an order. It can't
No,
hurt
these
you.
are good for marking off some levels and having some orders go ahead and put in, and then when they fill, you know, then you can go from there. Make sure you are scaling out on the way up so you're not
Right.
caught when it inevitably falls back down. So just
Yeah.
keep that in mind. And then other than that, though, this is a great one for that kind of trade, like
Yeah. It's not
early
all or
day
nothing.
trading.
When
Have
you're
something.
selling, you don't have to sell everything. Sell 10%,
No,
20%.
I'm saying sell on the way up, like
Oh, I'm
get
sorry, hon. I'm talking to the
scale out.
people. I'm actually talking to the audience. I know you know. I'm talking to the audience. Yeah, you don't have to hold everything, sell everything. Sell a little. Put some money in your pocket and feel better. You always feel better when you get some of that money in your pocket. Why? Because you're lessening the risk. You're taking it off the table and paying yourself. You deserve something for all of that. All right, I'm ready for the next one here. What time is it? Yeah, I don't even know how long we've been on now since I goofed up. So our next one here is not that one. It is this one, AKBA. AKBA came to me through Twitter, I believe it was. This is ticker AKBA, AKBA Therapeutics. AKBA is also on the major exchange, the NASDAQ. She finished the day at $1.33 and she was down about 5%. Now, what's most important to know about this company is she just had one of her 27th of this year. So that has just gotten on the market. They're starting to make money with that. And that's the first thing you see when you come over to their website as well, is they're letting you know this has just been approved. This drug, let's see, a trusted leader in the renal community, delivering unique products to people with kidney disease. We are a fully integrated biopharmaceutical company. Our team works to address complications of kidney disease. We have both a commercially available medicine and then a late stage oral, please don't make me read all that, other drug. Vafseo is approved in 34 countries. This is the one that was just approved by the FDA. And nearly 37 million Americans are affected with the disease that they are working on to help. All right, I didn't find a whole lot of other information. You know, we've got the financials and stuff. That's most of their news here. So let's take a look at the relative volume for the company. Well, they're up today. They jumped from 6.2 million up to 8.1 million. Share structure, 209 million outstanding. No clue what the float is here. Again, won't be higher than 209 million. And it could be considerably less. Absolutely. Market cap, 293 million. Whoa, that's pretty decent. Taking a look at the financials. All right, so we're not looking at a research and development biopharmaceutical company. They have products, they're making money, they can support themselves. Research and development, they aren't making any money, so they got to keep going to their investors, whether they be big ones or little ones, and having to get more money from them. So they're selling stuff, they're making money, they're doing pretty good, though they have been falling here just recently. 4 years ago, they were at almost $300 million. 2023, we're under $200 million. Though they did bring home profit with that $200 million of $120 million. Off that $300 million, they were losing money. They lost $1.8 million. What a bad year that was. Quarterly, every year they're bringing home, or every quarter they're bringing home profits, and they're hanging around between $40 and $60 million a quarter. Not bad money, folks. Take a look at that balance sheet. They got lots of money in the bank, 42 million. Total assets, 240 million. Yikes. Total liabilities is higher, 272 million. So we are holding about 30 million in deficit in this company. Aye. Disclosures, just as a last resort, 10Q and an 8K come out together. These are their most recent financials. I was curious about this ARS. The ARS is a lot like financials. They give you a lot of information in here. I think you're actually going to find a ton. I mean, a ton. Yeah, a ton. We've got 188 pages in this document. And this is all about their drugs. Every single thing you could want to know, from their trials to their selling it, everything. 188 pages worth of due diligence there for you, if you're interested. All right. I do believe, where the heck did we go there? I do believe that pretty much covers it for AKBA. Yes. Wow. I'm on a bad page. Let me get out of there. Save me, Taylor. Take us over to AKBA's chart, please.
Okay. So I was just looking at some stats over here. 52-week low was 78 cents, 52-week high 248, and both of those happened fairly recently. This was, well, not too recently. This was in October, way down here, and then this was March 28th that it hit this. Something I've noticed about this company is it moves on earnings, like this one today. It happened this morning,
Oh, did
and
we have earnings today?
it did. So
I missed that.
yeah.
Sorry.
So
Thanks,
what?
Taylor.
Yeah. So look at this bar here. So it was poor earnings, but if you go down to the 1 hour, you can see what actually happened. So it looks like once they reported, everything just went downhill. The
Yeah.
people did not like that. But once the market opened, which is this black area, we went back up. So that's why these candles looks like this, because we opened way down here and ended up here. So it's kind of like we filled that gap that was there. So that's good that it recovered so quickly.
Yeah.
Because
Not all the way, though, did it?
at
No.
its low, it went to 104 today early on, like pre-market, and then we closed at around 1, or actually 132 or so. This is after hours trading here, so it did recover all that. These are on regular candles too, by the way. So yeah, so the 1 hour, here's what we're looking at.
What's the 5-minute look like?
5-minute.
Still trying to get out of that dip. Oh, she's trying to break the 200. All right, that's worth a watch right there. She is struggling.
This is kind of like this is because of the earnings. We had like a nice little V-shaped recovery here. That's good. But see, this really moved on earnings. It did not respond favorably, but it recovered super nice. So that's great news. So it looked like, it looks like it was a big green day, which I guess it was, but compared to where it was, it
Right.
really
Overall,
wasn't, because I mean, it opened way down here, because pre-market it just completely, fell.
what was it overall today? Down 5%?
No, it went up technically because we opened. Oh
No,
no, it
I
was
mean,
down like 5%. Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
About
See, I don't
5%.
go by open. I go by yesterday's close because I didn't
Well,
buy it.
yesterday's close. Yeah, well, yeah, okay, yesterday's closed. But
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, if you're going from when we opened, it did have a
If
green.
you would have bought in the morning, but if you had owned it the day before, you're
Right.
still in a downtrend.
But from yesterday's close until today, it's down only about 5%, which is good considering it had such poor earnings.
Yeah.
That was reported
Yeah. She recovered a lot.
in pre-market hours today. So that's a nice little V-shaped recovery there.
Beautiful
So,
recovery.
yeah, really
Scary
good
for
recovery
anybody who
on that.
woke up this morning. It was like, yeah, definitely. So
Yeah, and you wouldn't even think to buy into that after the poor earnings report. I mean,
no.
once you saw, a few green bars, then maybe, over VWAP and things like that. But
And I like that big red bar at the end of the day. That to me is a token sign that she wants to climb. She's put down a strong pillar. She bounced up off that big red bar. Looks to me like she is thinking about getting on top of that 200 and starting to climb. Yeah,
yeah,
that big red bar.
that was after hours as well. That
Ooh,
happened right after the closing bell.
boy, she gets a lot of activity after hours and before market, don't she?
Yeah, a lot of these do.
Yep.
And this one's on the NASDAQ. So there you go.
Moving on to our next stock then. What do we got up here? EMED, Electromedical Technologies, Inc. Ooh, look at that price, 00055. Now, you can't buy it at that price. You have to buy it on the 5, the 6, or the 4. Anything beyond that first 5 there is where marketers and brokers are buying the stock. Aggravating that someone can get a price you can't get. So she was down today about 21%. She too is on the pink. Got one of those pieces of validated information, transfer agent. No verified profile here either. So this is an American company based out of Arizona. They are based in bioelectronics manufacturing. Their mission is to improve global wellness for people suffering from various painful conditions by relieving chronic and acute pain using energy, frequency, and vibration as an alternative to pharmaceuticals. We engineer simple-to-use bioelectronic therapy devices which send a proprietary sequence of electrical signals. Now, this is interesting. I jumped over here to their website, drug-free pain relief using frequencies. Here's a picture of that device. Now, they tell you up here, it's interesting. Where is that number I saw? Hundreds. There was a number I saw here that said there was hundreds of frequencies that they could work with. There it is. With over 1 million frequencies to choose from, the Wellness Pro Plus offers treatment for numerous pain-related issues. Now, this reminds me a lot of the TENS. I don't know what that stands for, but it was the same thing. You had these patches that you put in your sore areas, your back, wherever, and used to put electricity through them. And you could dial the electricity from very light to very strong. And it came on in different pulses that you could control. Well, I'm telling you right now, I didn't like it at all. Not one bit. I didn't care how light you put it on. It was not good for pain. It was just another pain on top of the pain I had. Well, this is supposed to be something completely different. This is working with frequencies, sound waves, vibrations. I've had that done with me by just using an ultrasound machine on a sore shoulder. They just put it on there and they said, this is vibrating your fluids inside your joint so fast that it's heating it up. And that is therapy for you. I couldn't feel a thing. 3 months later, the pain I had had for over a year disappeared and never came back. So this frequency stuff really does work. But the big piece of news I happen to find by going off of the OTC markets. They have no news over there. So don't presume just because there's no news on the OTC that there isn't any. Always double check. I'm glad I double checked. And always make sure that it's current news. I jumped into a piece of news looking for it. It said it was 3 days old. I looked at all of it, highlighted it all. Then I went to highlight the date, 2022. It's like, why would you say it's 3 days old? I mean, this was on Google, 3-day-old news, and it was 2 years old. So this one is current. May 8th, 2024. Lionheart Health and Electromedical Technologies join forces to accelerate market growth of bioelectric regeneration platform. Privately held Lionheart Health, a trailblazing innovator in bioelectric controlled protein expressions and bioelectric enhanced biologics for tissue and organ regeneration with over 700 patent claims, is excited to announce a strategic partnership with Electromedical Technologies. EMD brings to the table an established sales rep network covering all 50 of the states and a unique platform for electrical stimulation products. Lionheart Health has developed, patented, sourced, and has brought to market a full pipeline of unique products in regenerative aesthetics, sports rehabilitation, health span longevity extensions, and a whole bunch of other things. So we've got a deal going on right now. They are joining forces with someone else, and you'll probably want to do some more due diligence and see what that is all about. Taking a look at the relative volume for the company, well, there wasn't a lot of excitement around it, was it? But then maybe it's because it wasn't posted here. I mean, you got to get your news out there in front of people if you want it to excite anybody. We dropped from 3.3 million down to 1.6 million. Share structure for EMED, got a little over 500 million shares outstanding. Insiders own about 100 million, roughly. We get about 450,000, just shy of 500 million. Not a great float. Market cap, oh my God, They're lucky they're not on the NASDAQ. $373,000. Financials for EMED. Well, they're making money. Over the last 4 years, it's been growing. Every single year has increased. And their revenue, their profits are increasing too. They did now this is interesting, $1.3 million at the end of 2023, and they got to keep over 1 million. They make devices. You need parts. You need a factory. You need to pay people. You have machinery. There's got to be some overhead in there and not just $300,000. That's what they say it is. I like it. Quarterly reports. They're up and down. They've been hovering between $300,000 and $400,000 a quarter. Last quarter, they did $351,000. And again, they're bringing home strong profits. Balance sheet for the company. Not a lot of money in the bank, about $87,000. Not a lot in assets, $748,000. Ow. A lot of liabilities, $3.6 million. I know it could be worse. So we're holding deficit in this company of $2.8 million. I do believe that covers everything. Just a final shot here. Filed late, their NT10K, that's their annual report. When you file an NT10K, you get 15 extra days. They were late. That should have been out on the 18th. It didn't come out until the 1st of May. That's not good. We don't like to see that. And again, they've got a habit of being late on their financials as well. All right, that's all I can tell you about EMED. Let's go do some charting.
Okay, so this one's a little bit barcodey, but not too bad. Looks like recently we had like a low of this was a good support here at 0005. This big green bar, this was on Monday. We had a nice jump. We went from the 0005 up to the 0008 and then 0009. So not quite that 001 that you like. We came back down to 0006 now. So this the resistances I see are 0006 and then this 001. I like this area, obviously. I know you do too. And then reached a high of this 0014. I think we could get back up there if we can get some more momentum. You can see when the last time that happened, we had a little bit more, green bars, but they're not really reporting anything. They're saying that these, they'll have earnings, but they're not reporting it. There's no news. It's just like an estimate. And there haven't been any stock splits that I see. So there's nothing else to really say. It's basically just been going sideways except for some of these jumps, but then it'll just come right back down.
Does that look like it could have been or might be a cup and handle there at the very end, or did it overshoot?
Let me see something. Yeah, look, yeah, it does actually, now that you mention it.
Yeah,
this is the 4 hour here.
Yeah, so she would be right at the point right now. If it was a cup and handle, she'd be looking for a bounce right now.
Yeah, this could be right here. Yeah. Good call. Yeah, this is on the 4 hour. It looks like it for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
she is doing a lot of bouncing though underneath that 200.
I'd like to see this come back up to the 001.
Yeah. So would I. Okie dokie.
Yeah, 1 hour looks like it too.
She looks like she is trying to get over that 200. She keeps beating her head on it. She's now poked her head over it, maybe with a cup and handle to really run over it. Definitely watching or watch list worthy. Another one I would consider
on this, especially if we get to the 0009 and definitely beyond, because that's the resistance, the first major resistance I've seen is 0009 on that. So
I can see that. Yeah, we would have thought that we could see something happen. Let's move into that next one then. That was good timing. You moved right with me. This is KYNC. This is KYN Capital Group. She too is on the pink, the bottom tier of the OTC, down there in the 000 zone, 0008. To me, it doesn't look like she moved today, but she could have gone all over the place and just ended up where she started. We got no ups or downs. This one does give us all the validated information we normally look for: transfer agent and verified profile. So what is this company about? At first, I thought this was that robot company, that wrong K. This is the one that has the mobile app KYNC. KYNC Capital Group is a Nevada corporation. The company has repositioned to be a holdings company. So that means they own other companies for acquisitions and technology development in the entertainment, professional sports, blockchain, cryptocurrency, and NFT markets. KYNC's goal is to combine the expertise of our team members to create a cohesive force, more or less a super app. That's what you got over here. CoinFold is their digital wallet, which does a lot more than just wallet stuff. And I can't name everything it does. There's a list right there that you can read on your own time. But they do tell us things down here. At KYN Capital Group, we are building a portfolio of products to empower the next generation. Our featured products include CoinFold Pay 2.0, our truly amazing non-custodial digital wallet, which allows you to purchase, sell, swap, and provide the latest trending cryptocurrency news. You get market assets, charts, the ability to create NFTs with Hypermint. You can text message to users that are in the CoinFold. So it does a lot of different things. But the news came out yesterday that we need to talk about. They just did a joint venture. KYN, and you're going to be surprised at who they did this joint venture with. KYN Capital Group and Asia Broadband nearing completion of joint venture agreement for next generation digital wallet. That is ticker AABB. Now there seems to be interest off and on for ticker AABB. They're in a lot of different things. They got gold, they got cryptos, they've got apps, they've got a lot of different things going on. KYN Capital Group is pleased to announce that it is nearing completion of a joint venture agreement with Asia Broadband. This strategic partnership aims to develop a cutting-edge digital wallet designed for cryptocurrencies and bullion, set to redefine industry standards. They're talking about gold. The companies have informally been collaborating on the project for several years and have now established the expertise and alliances to access mass markets within the CoinFold app and the next generation AABB wallet. The joint venture agreement is expected to be completed in the next coming weeks. Our goal is to create a product that not only enhances user experience, but also integrates seamlessly with existing digital ecosystems, setting new benchmarks in the industry. And that's really what you want. If you have a digital product, you don't want to stand out there all alone. That's why they make super apps, because they bring everything in. Well, if you can't bring everything in, then you need to get in everything else. So you make your app easy to bring into other applications, and hopefully they'll get that done. So what's the relative volume around KYNC? Let's see. She jumped. Let's call it about 400% increase in her volume. Okay, 300. Going from about 6 million to just over 20 million today. Share structure for KYNC. Ow. That's a lot of outstanding shares. Almost 6 billion. Insiders own a mere 114 million of those. We get all the rest. 5.8 billion shares. Market cap for the company, 4.7 million. Financials. What are they making with this? Geez. 5 years ago, they were making more money than that. 748,000 down to 72. Nothing during COVID. 2023, they were making $14,000 digital product. They got to keep every single penny. I don't know where they got that money though, and they ain't getting it anymore. And this always worries me about an app that's been around for a long time. I mean, where are they making their revenues? How do they make their revenues? Is it per transaction? Well, there should be something there. If people are downloading it and using it, they're not paying for the app. Are they making it on advertising? Where's the money? I just don't get it. If you've got an app that's been around for a while, shouldn't you be generating revenues off of it somewhere? Balance sheet for the company. Yikes. 7,000 in the bank. Don't forget those 3 zeros, not just $7. $324,000 in assets. Ow. 2.1 million in liabilities. So we're holding 1.7 million in deficit in this company. Disclosures. Let's see what we got. Bunch of 10Qs. That's a lot of financials. And then a 1512G. What the heck are these? Those are very short, aren't they? That it? That's it. That's the whole form right there, folks. I'd have to actually go look up what the heck that's for. And there's a few of them here. Oh, it doesn't matter. Look how old those are. 2015. So we have no real information here. We got a joint venture coming on with AABB. I don't think AABB is doing all that well right now. I haven't looked at them in a while, but since she was hot, she's come down. Market sentiment has brought her down, and I haven't seen her kicking. I've seen news out there for her, but she hasn't come up as a hot stock in any of my due diligence day after day, week after week. So I don't know where this is going to go. The bottom line is somebody needs to start making money. That's what we need to see. A joint venture is fine, but are you going to be making money doing it? So let's take a look at the ticker KYNC, KYNC. Yikes. We've looked at this before.
Yeah, we looked at this a couple times before on March 21st and April 4th, and then today. So we had this head and shoulders that did play out, but this news that came out yesterday is what brought it back to life, because we were just in this in between 0005 and 0006. So now we went all the way up to this 001 that you like. Came back down. Now we're at around this 0008. So we are back to this area. So it's hard to tell if if this is a reversal or if this is just, one of those random pops, and then it's just gonna die right back out, because this is a really barcodey kind of a chart. We can look at the 4-hour and you can just see what.
She doesn't have a lot of random pops though, does she? I mean, normally when she has a pop, she follows it with some sort of growth, but she does.
Correct. Yeah, like here back in January, it came up and it stayed up, and we had another one in mid-January, stayed up there.
Yeah.
And then it came down, had another pop in February, and that's when the second shoulder happened, and then we came down and we stayed until we had this, and this big spike in volume is a lot bigger than these two, which is really interesting. And then I've said this before, this kind of reminds me of our favorite toner kind of did that a little bit. So now that
this brought the two tickers together, AABB and KYNC, just that kind of merger, because AABB has its own following. So you could have people from that company jumping over here too, because that's a nice pop today.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we opened up at like 0005, and let's see, wait, opened up at 0005, went all the way up to 001, but then closed like 0007, which is still significant, and it did stay up. We had another green day, 0006 to 0008. So like maybe we can continue this where it's going to stay up here in this area, and maybe we're going to need one more of those pops to get it up here. Its high was 0014. So we're still about like halfway there. We're at 100% would get us there or higher, because right now we're at 0008. So that definitely helped. That news yesterday definitely helped for sure.
It's amazing the bounces she's getting with 5 billion shares to have to move. My goodness. That's something else. So she's in the motion, folks. She's worthy of your watch list. She is
definitely starting to move again. We just don't know if this is going to be short-lived or not, but if history repeats itself, it's going to have another leg up, maybe come up into this area. That would be real nice.
Yeah, it's watch list worthy with the yellow flag. Yellow flag. I'm not completely sold on this one, but that looks a little better there, doesn't it?
Look at this is the 1 hour. See how we were just doing nothing between 0005 and 0006. Now we had this pop, and it's staying up there, but that was only 2 days. So I mean 2 days worth. But see how the volume dropped off. This volume really dropped off. It pumped. That was yesterday at around 10 a.m. Central, but it has stayed up there. It didn't completely fall immediately, so that's good news.
Yeah, she looks a little weak though, being underneath all the other SMAs. I expect it would at least come down to the 20. The volume, it's critical with these stocks, especially when you got 5 billion shares. You need some volume.
Yeah, 15-minute, we're kind of flagging out on the 15-minute. That's positive. Yeah, so we'll just see if it can hold up into this area instead of come down to this 0005. That would be ideal. Someone that's in this, yeah.
Sounds good. We have got Kashira's ticker here. This is good. This was a stock I was going to cover yesterday. I had 3 stocks that I was looking at, and I had to choose one. I ended up going with SMCE, I think it was. But WYY, I had already done the research on. And it's interesting because, again, last night, as I was posting information, somebody posted a video that somebody else did on this stock. And I watched it. I do that. And it's like, wait a minute. I just did my due diligence. You're not reporting this right. That's not what the news says. So just in case some of you are confused, I'm going to set you straight here. So this is WYY, Y Point Corporation, finished today at $2.61, and she was up almost 3% today. She's on the New York Stock Exchange. We don't get a lot of penny stocks on the New York Stock Exchange. So what can we talk about here? Well, what does the company do? They are involved with digital security, whether it be securing your identity, securing your data, billing solutions. I mean, they're a fintech company. You know, that's what they do, and they do all sorts of it. And we're not going to get deep into that. What we are going to get deep into is the news that came out yesterday. WidePoint selected by the U.S. Navy for the 10-year, $2.7 billion Spiral 4 contract. Now, that sounds great, and it is great. It just isn't all that it reads. They tell us here, right from the point up here, WidePoint is among 7 companies selected by the U.S. Navy to provide wireless and telecommunication services. WidePoint, along with 6 other companies, including the U.S. Big 3 wireless carriers, was awarded a position on a 10-year, $2.7 billion Spiral 4 contract to provide full range of wireless and telecommunication services to the military personnel and federal civilian employees stationed within the country and U.S. territories. The U.S. Department of Defense announced the firm's fixed price, indefinite duration, indefinite quantity contract has a 1-year base period value of approximately $267 million and 9 1-year option periods that would run through May 2034 if all options are exercised. What we're saying is, yeah, there's 10 years worth of contracts sitting on the table. They're going 1 year at a time. The first year is 267. There are 7 companies chosen together, this company being one of them. They don't have to compete for the business. They're getting some of that business, but not all of it. How much of it they're getting? I don't know. They don't tell us that. We just know they're going to get a piece of the pie of $267 million. And over the next 9 years, as long as they're doing what they're supposed to, they'll continue to make money off of this government contract. Anything else I had here? Yeah, projection. The company is looking ahead to fiscal year 2024 with an anticipation of revenues between $120 million and $133 million. What's their revenues right now? That's an improvement. 4 years ago, they were at $180 million, pulling in $20 million in profit, dropped down to 87, bounced back up to 94, and at the end of 2023 at 106. And they say at the end of 2024, they should be up near 120 to 133 million. And they're bringing home profit, but God, that's a lot of expenditures, isn't it? 90 million, and you get to keep 15 million. Quarterly reports, they're doing just under 30 million, between 25 and 30 million every 3 months. Nothing wrong with that. And they're bringing home about 4 million out of each one of those. Balance sheet, we got about 7 million in the bank, 51 million in total assets. Oh, thank God, finally one that's lower. 36 million in liabilities. Woohoo! We got stockholder equity here of about 14 million. I don't think I missed anything, but as a habit, again, these ARSs, I'm just getting familiar with these folks. They are packed with information. And if you come over here to the OTC, don't just click it, which is all you normally have to do. It won't open for some reason. But if you open it up as a PDF, voila, it comes out. They give you lots of information in these. It looks like a 10K or 10Q, but there seems to be more information in these than come in 10Ks and 10Qs. I don't know why. But if you want to do some homework, that ARS will give you a lot of information. Put on your glasses. That's some fine print there. All right, let's go take a look at the chart for WYY. I do believe she had a good day.
Oh yeah, we had a really good day. We had a major gap up. Actually, the last couple of days gapped up.
Yeah.
Actually, the last 3 days we had like green day here. Opened way up here at 252. Opened again at 256. Now we're at around 261. That's really, really good. It's kind of like it's almost like a descending channel here. So that was kind of expected, actually.
Right.
Yeah, I really like that. Only problem is whenever I see gaps, I always feel like it's going to fill that gap. So I kind of see like this area here, like 222. I think, whoop, sorry, about 222, 24. It could come back down here, retest this before continuing to move back up. Its high was up here at
Which
like
would be a good buy zone then, right?
be a
Right
really good buy zone. Yeah, if we can come back and fill that gap, and then come back up, because a lot of times they like to fill these gaps. Didn't have anything to do with earnings though, but it is going to report some earnings May 15th, but I don't know if that's going to happen because they said that here too and nothing was really reported. It didn't. It was here though. Not good, but it didn't really react. I mean, it was still very flat. So we had this really big run at the end of December up until February. Moved back down, and then this 200 is real flat. That's good. This is the daily chart, by the way, on regular candles. But yeah, we had a really good couple of days. So I think this 224 area is a good one to watch. Come back down and retest this, and then I think we could continue. But I do see this gap filling, because that it always worries me when I see a gap like that when it gaps up. You mentioned something that happened that's why that, and that look at the volume was just absolutely insane compared to what was going on before. I mean, that's like 4 times, 5 times the normal average volume.
Yeah, well, I think it was probably in their favor that the headline of the news kind of made it sound like the whole $2.7 billion deal was theirs. So people would just go scanning through the news. Ooh, look at that, 2.7 billion. But you know, a little more homework and you get down to the details. It's not bad news. It is still good news. I mean, it's great news. It just isn't everything that it looks like it is. And some people are actually proclaiming that this company gets that whole $1 billion contract. No. Yeah, that looks good. Look at that. Yeah,
the 1 hour, it looks like we're kind of bull flagging here on the 1 hour. That looks really good. And this right here is after hours. All this was pre-market. So when we opened, we kind of dipped and then ripped a little bit. Not a lot, but you know, significant. And then this big green bar, this was pre-market on Wednesday, May 8th. So that was yesterday. A lot of these move pre-market and after hours. Like this one here moved pre-market. I mean, look right here on this day. Look what happened pre-market right here. And that was just April 23rd. That was not that long ago. That was all pre-market right there.
Wow.
Yeah, so was this pre-market. We didn't remove that much today, but after hours we're moving. So a lot of these do that. So, you know, if you're wanting to get in on some of that action, like either, you know, get up or have a buy order ready.
And then I'm thinking of changing my clock and getting up and just trading pre-market and taking the day off.
It's not a bad idea, especially if you have some orders already set to buy, and then you're up and watching it. You can scale out and you can already make a profit before the market even opens. So that's, you know,
that's a beautiful day.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yes, it would. Yes, it will. I like that chart. That's looking sweet. She's got a lot of catalysts going right now. The revenues are going to be coming in. So it all looks good to me. But of course, it's not going to just keep going up. At some point, someone will say that's as much as she's worth. So you've always got to watch the chart. But right now, she is definitely worthy of watching. She looks like she wants to take some more gains, in my opinion. So let's move on to that next stock then. Okay, we got two left here. Oh, this was an interesting one. Not quite sure why this one was asked of me to look at. This is TSPH, Too Simple Holdings Inc. Oh, doggone it. I wanted to do something before I did this. Doesn't matter. This is on the expert market. It cannot be traded by me and you, people who are on the open market. You will see trades. They'll be done by marketers and brokers. Normally, when a stock goes to the expert market, whatever price it was at means nothing. It could be at a penny. When you go to the expert market, that price will start to fall because brokers and marketers pull it down. Now, I think they pull it down so that they can buy it super cheap because, and I mean down, like to 401, 501, and they can buy at that price. $100 will get you 1 million shares. Well, they got to put it back on the market at 00 or 0001 when it comes back on. Well, from 501 to 0001, that's a huge gain for those people who are buying off market. So that happens a lot. Now, we don't know the price here. They don't tell us. I don't know what tier it's on. I don't know if it's pink, QB, or what. I would have to look around here. First thing I notice is that they're filing 10Qs. 10Q, well, that's audited financials. That's normally the QB, the middle tier or up. I'm not saying pinks don't use them, but it's rare. And you don't see a pink that's using 10Qs on the expert. So I'm a little confused here, but they do have SEC reporting going on here. We are getting the right financials, but that's why they're over here. They're late. The last one came out November. We don't have another one since. So we are missing the annual report and we're missing the fourth quarter report. And they will stay on the expert market until they get those caught up. And you can't, well, I was going to say you can't buy or sell your shares until they come back on the open market. That is to say, until they file those financials. But the truth is you can sell if you don't mind selling at a dirt cheap price. You can see the price on the chart. It'll probably show us there. So did I find any information to share with you here? I did. This company is, I had a picture here to share with you. Too Simple is a global autonomous driving technology company headquartered in San Diego, California. Founded in 2015, Too Simple is developing a commercial-ready, fully autonomous, level 4 driving solution for long-haul heavy-duty trucks. We are talking about 18-wheelers. Too Simple aims to transform the $4 trillion global truck freight industry through the company's leading AI technology, which makes it possible for trucks to see 1,000 meters ahead of them, operate nearly continuously, and reduce fuel consumption by 10% relative to manually driven trucks. Global achievements includes the world's first fully autonomous driver-out semi-truck run on the open public roads in the U.S. and China, and the development of the world's first autonomous freight network. Obviously, some more due diligence there. They do have a website that you can jump over to. Now, I did jump over to get news to see what was going on with this company. There was nothing here. Ta-da! But again, that doesn't mean that there isn't stuff to know. So I jumped over here to Google. Just looking at the headlines. Too Simple appoints 2 new directors. That was 3 days ago. Too Simple to restructure U.S. business. Lays off 30% of their staff. That was on May 18th. Self-driving. All right, this is that one. Is this the one? Yes. Remember, I told you I was looking at news, got it all set up, and I was going to share it with you, and then realized when I went to highlight the date, it wasn't new news. This right here, self-driving truck startup, Too Simple to explore options for APAC business. They were doing a transaction, a merger with Asia Pacific. Well, they say it's a week old. It's from 2022. That's aggravating. Why do they do that? Self-driving truck company Too Simple to use NVIDIA chips for autonomous computing. It says it's a week old. I don't know how old that news is, but this is the news. This is what we've got. There's no big catalyst going on or anything like that. The worst thing is that they're on the expert market. So there isn't going to be any relative volume. Now, believe it or not, as I said, there is trading. And if you go to the right page, you can see trades that, yes, it was traded today. And normally you can get a heads up if something's going on because the price here you'll see drop. Now, this doesn't show a whole lot of bad activity. This is just the 9th. And they're showing it has only moved a couple cents. So I don't know how long it's been on the expert market. They don't have a place to tell you this is the day it went on. They don't tell you when it's coming off. We just know that when they file their financials, somewhere after that, that's when they're going to come off the expert market if they were approved. So I really don't have a whole lot of other information over here to share with you, except maybe the share structure. Outstanding share count, 205 million. That's all we get. And that was as of October of last year. That may have changed as well. Market cap currently is 63 million. So with that, let's go on over and look at this chart for an expert stock.
Okay. So I was just going to illustrate this real quick. This is the daily chart with regular candles. See how we had this gap down, and as you can see, it didn't take long for it to fill. So it filled this gap, so that's no longer an issue. So here's what happened lately. We had something, we opened way down here. I'm not really sure what happened on April 4th. So we closed here and then opened way down here, like at basically zero. This is like untradeable, basically.
I wonder if that's where it went to the expert market. I told you they tear the price up.
Very strange, very odd move here. Yeah. So let's do Hakanashi's. It's a little easier to see what's going on. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you can see we kind of like, you know, this was kind of weird. We had little, it's kind of like a curve. This might be like an inverse cup and handle, possibly. I'm not 100% sure. Let's do 4 hours. See what we got. Looking pretty bearish now, but
and being on the expert market, you're not going to see a stock climb on the expert market. That's what I'm telling you. As soon as it gets to the expert market, it will start to fall and get worse.
I mean, we did climb here,
but I don't know when it went on the expert market. That's the whole point.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I'm thinking that big, huge bar where it hit zero. That's the day. Because you can't hit zero on the open market. You've got to go off the open market to hit zero.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so it was literally zero. The tail hit literally zero.
And from that point, it won't be good. Until we see financials, I will bet you're going to see this thing go under 0001. And you can't buy it. You can't.
It was supposed to return. It was supposed to report some earnings today, but you know, they were just estimates and nothing was reported. So
more financials that aren't on time.
Nothing came about with us, and I don't even see any other. Whoops. Oh, there were some reports. Okay, we had a little bit, but I don't know if it reacted. Looked like not really. Little bit up here when it was way up here in the $1 range. We've had a lot of movement here. Oh God, we were all the way at the 260 something. Now we're down to the 26 cents, but it did go all the way to zero, which is very strange.
That's what the expert knows. It's the twilight zone.
Yeah, this is so it's very difficult for me to read and see what.
And you really don't need to, because as I said, nobody can trade it, so it's information we can't put to use.
Yeah, this isn't going to be helpful. So there's not really much for me to say here.
So let's dive into that last stock. This is a company that maybe a lot of you have heard before, and they too have a deal going on with another company you may have heard about. This is BuzzFeed Inc., ticker BZFD, on the NASDAQ, finished at $2.15. She was up almost 17% today. So BuzzFeed, they are a digital media company. They distribute content across owned and operated as well as third-party platforms. The company offers BuzzFeed as a go-to authority for entertainment, pop culture, and internet, with articles, lists, quizzes, videos, and original series. BuzzFeed News, a pocket-friendly newsroom. Tasty, a platform for food content. HuffPost, media platform for news, politics, opinion, entertainment features, and lifestyle content. Now, let's see what we got here. This is just a picture to give you an idea. They're into a lot of different things, and they are working in the entertainment. They're working in the news industry, which means when you're spreading information in these two sectors, you constantly have information. And what is going to be great about this is that they are instrumenting AI, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. So this is the news that has come out here since February. BuzzFeed announces 16% reduction in the remaining workforce. That makes it sound like they had a cut before. So they did some more lean and mean activities. Also in February, the company announces the sale of Complex to Network in an all-cash deal. That's a little concerning. They're cutting and reducing their workforce. They're selling some of their assets. Sounds like they had some problems. They're trying to correct them right now. The news we are going to jump into, The Independent, you may have heard of them, and BuzzFeed sign a long-term license and strategic partnership in UK and Ireland. But the most recent piece of news is here. We have a 1-in-4 reverse split that was announced on the 2nd. Let's see if we can find a day. It's already happened. Yes, it did. Happened on the 6th. So they just brought their share count down from 140 million down to about 35 million now. So let's take a look at that news. Supergroup of digital media pioneers created The Independent, partners with BuzzFeed, Tasty, Seasoned, and HuffPost in the UK and Ireland. Groundbreaking deal combines industry-leading tech, publishing, and media innovation in combined editorial and commercial operations. The deal brings together the globally renowned brands of The Independent, which includes Independent TV, Indie Best, and Indie 100, with BuzzFeed UK, Tasty UK, Seasoned, and HuffPost UK to form one operation in the UK and Ireland, led by The Independent. Lots of information here you may want to go through. I didn't pull anything else out. I know both of these. I read news that comes from BuzzFeed. I do read The Independent. They've got some really interesting news. They have news that's just not in the mainstream. That's why I've always liked The Independent. So what was the relative volume around BuzzFeed today? Wow, that's a big increase. I'm trying to do the math here. 220, 20, that'd be 40. What is that? 40, roughly 40 times her normal volume. I think I'm right. Could be 400. I think it's 40. No, 400. 42,000 shares a day over the last 30 days is all she's been doing. Today, she went over 2 million shares. Share structure for BuzzFeed. Oh, look at that. Only 35 million shares. I mean, that's lower than a lot of the floats we look at. Don't know what the float is. It could be 35 million. And if it is, I'm okay with that. It could be less, though. Market cap, we are at 64 million. Financials for BuzzFeed. Try again. Hey, they're making money with their news, aren't they? A lot of these sort of companies you just don't see doing anything. They are. Over the last 4 years, they have been dropping in their revenues. They had a bounce during COVID, came back down. Right now, they're at about $250 million, if that makes it sound any better, 252 million. And they're bringing home nice profit, 110 million. That's about 40%. Quarterly. Wow. Those are all over the place. And the last one isn't all that great. September of 2023, they were at $73 million for 3 months. They dropped down to less than 50% of that, down to 34 million. Though they got to take home a lot of that profit. Look at that. Something strange going on here. I mean, I can see something different has occurred between these two. So I do some research right in this area, see what the heck happened. Made a lot of profit in this quarter, 29,000 million. Balance sheet, they got money in the bank, about 35 million. Lots of assets, 411 million. Yay! Less liabilities, 302 million. So we actually got some good profit here. Stockholder equity of about 108 million. Yes. Disclosures, I'm sure I looked. It's just a good habit. Form 4s. These are filed whenever the insiders acquire or dispose of the company's stock. And they can do it in a lot of different ways. And those different ways are represented by a letter. A P is for purchase. We're interested in that. An S is for a sale. We're interested in that. Any other letter? Maybe you're interested, maybe you're not. If you are, right down here, you can get information about what the purchase or the sale was all about, or whatever the heck is going on. They'll tell you right there. So that covers it for BuzzFeed. Now we get the important.
Was there something significant that happened around February 21st or 22nd?
Yeah. BuzzFeed announced a sale of Complex to Network in an all-cash deal. That was on the 21st.
Okay.
There you go. What was it, a good thing or a bad thing?
It opened the next day really high and then dropped down. I'll show you right now if you're ready.
Yeah, I'm eager to see. I don't know. See, like I said, selling it could have been seen as a sign of weakness rather than, hey, money.
Well, it opened up here at 179. I'll talk about that in a second, and then dropped down. But so we got this gap here. However, none of these numbers are going to be accurate because we had a stock split on Monday, 1-for-4 reverse split.
Right. Which means all the numbers in the back, we have to multiply times, we have to divide by 4.
Yeah. So all this is kind of like, it's hard to read, but it reacted pretty favorably. It did. Running. So we have a high now of 247. And even if it reports like poor earnings, we do have like, green bars. It opened lower. Let's say, wait. And this was in the, it was in the evening. So the next day we opened lower, but then ran back up to right where it was. So whatever. And then we're having another earnings on Monday. So keep an eye on for that if you are someone that trades earnings or likes to keep an eye on things. I'm not sure if this has options. I'm guessing it does. So the implied volatility on these options are going to be really, really high. Just keep that in mind if you are an options trader, because earnings likes to increase the IV on that stuff. But we are running. Let's look at the 1 hour. Let's do.
Yeah.
There we go. And the 1 hour looks real nice.
Yeah, that is very strong right now. I mean, that's like perfect. Looks like a caterpillar. Beautiful.
Yeah, we got
climbing up the tree. Look at that red nose. I like it.
Yeah, and most of this, so like this would be pre-market, and this was during the stock split. But this is moving during the day. So this is the black is like this during the during market hours. So I mean, except for these flat parts where nothing was going on. Like today, for example, we ran. This is after hours. It kind of just took a dip after hours, which is totally normal. Like yesterday, we just kind of stayed flat. Morning didn't do much, but today we ran. So good news coming. I think the earnings might be very interesting. That's on Monday, so keep an eye on that. I'm gonna probably add this to my own watch list and keep an eye on those earnings myself personally.
Yeah, it could do if earnings are Monday. Tomorrow being the last day before that, it could do something tomorrow. Definitely watch list worthy. Definitely. Even without that catalyst, the chart looks good. But now that you got a catalyst,
yeah. I'm just saying after hours Monday, so if you want to. If you are an options trader, just keep in mind that the implied volatility is going to be super high. So be careful swinging some of those options because you can get burned real quick if it doesn't have a strong enough move. Heard
that. Well, folks, we actually got through them all. Real late start. I don't know if you guys were sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. I am so embarrassed. I swear to God. Stuff happens. What can I say? We're not AI. We're humans. We do make mistakes. So I appreciate you guys sticking around. 5:45. Egads. It's dinner time, folks. Not for you, for me. I'm starving. Thanks for hanging around, folks. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate the information you bring in. Thanks, Taylor, for being here. I couldn't do it without you. It would be a real wear and tear on me, and I wouldn't be able to give the attention to the people that show up that you do. So thanks a lot. I sure appreciate you being here. We will see you next week, folks. Thursday, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. When that bell is going off, we're going on. We'll see you then. Bet I get the button right this time.